like to introduce you to one of your fellow chamber members who joined us last year. And right away we realized his talent, and we said, this is the man we have to talk to about our new website. He is the professional we've been looking for and working with our board of directors and our website committee, and to help the Chamber of Commerce finally step into the 21st century. Eric is diligently working on his redesign for our website, and he'll be introducing his new creative influence and professionalism in about 2 more weeks. I think probably by mid-April we'll have it up, right? I think so, yes. So Eric today is here to give you an overview and some topics to give you relevancy in your business, place you where you need to be on the internet, and give you some great suggestions you never heard before. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce Eric Sloan. Eric, the web guy.
Thank you, Barbara. Thank you very much, Barbara, and thank you to the Smithtown Chamber and also Casa Rustica for having me, and for everyone being here. I really appreciate it. I hope everyone is doing well. And I'm here to speak to you today about various things. I believe you have this. If not, Barbara is distributing it now. And I'm going to give you as much value and as many tips as I can today for not only your website and making it as great as possible, but also for getting it out there on the internet and ultimately growing your business, getting more traffic, getting more sales, more clients, something that every business needs, of course. As I go through each category, there's 3 categories. After each category, I'll open up for questions that I would be happy to answer. So the first category is web designs and suggestions. So I'm going to go through the bullet points. The first one is clean, visually appealing design. So it's highly important that your website is clean, easy to navigate, and that it looks good, right? It's got to be visually appealing. So it's important to have a good balance of photos and text, and the photos that you have are really important because they tell a story. So it's very important to show photos of people that are happy, or people that are, doing whatever they're doing in your business, or customers. So showing people that look happy and give a good vibe. You also want to have consistent and branded colors. So if your logo is, let's say, black and red, make sure that your colors on the website match. You want it to be consistent. You want it to flow. You want to emphasize your brand, okay? Headlines on the website. You want to have headlines. So instead of having so much text to read, headlines that people spot as they go. Because most people, depending on who it is though, might not have time to read so much. So that's why it's important to have good flow. The next tip is to focus on user experience, also known as UX. Some tips for that would include fast loading, easy to find things, an SSL, which is considered an Ssl certificate, is security socket layer. So have you ever been to a site and you go there and it says not secure on the top? That's going to sway people away. So an SSL is something that you can easily install or have someone help, such as myself, to make your site secure. That also helps with Google, with the ranking on Google. So that's highly important. Again, that's called an SSL. And you want to have a contact form. You want to make the user experience as good as possible. Wordpress Platform. How many of you have heard of Wordpress Platform or WordPress? Okay, so WordPress is an open source platform. It's free to use. Okay, some of you might have heard of Wix or Squarespace or GoDaddy Website Builder. There's all different ways to build a site. But WordPress accounts for about 35% of websites on the internet. So that tells you something. It says that WordPress is very good, very versatile, and the designs, layouts are premium. They're very eye-catching, very professional. And Google likes WordPress. So it's a good thing. Next, high quality photos, okay? So for this, obviously you can take photos. I know we have Elise, who does a lot of photography. She's wonderful, so she's obviously great to use. But you could also use stock photos. So I'm sure some of you are familiar with that. there's many different sites for stock photos. So there's actually free, royalty-free photos that you can get. And if you want to write this down, or I can always help you with it. One is called Pexels, PEXELS.com. Another one is Pixabay. I didn't make up these names. That's PIXABAY. Just make sure to check the terms and the usage and everything, but those are actually free, royalty-free sites. Or you could get paid stock photo, like through Dreamstime or Shutterstock, okay? So that's important, high quality photos. Mobile friendly, okay? How important is that? Extremely important. 2022, this was highly important 10 years ago, even before that. But it is imperative that your website is mobile friendly. So people don't have to zoom in, right? I mean, those days are over. Also, a click to call on your website is good, having a button, click to call. As well as a Google mobile friendly test. You can do that actually. If you go to Google and you just type in Google mobile friendly test, you can insert your URL and it will tell you if your site is mobile friendly or not. So that's highly important. And the last thing that I'm going to give you as a tip is call to action buttons. So those are visual. Again, people don't always read everything. They'll see the headlines, they'll see the buttons. Call to action button would be like something simple, like get a free consultation, or get a free quote, or contact us today, anything like that. So I hope that those tips have helped you. I'll open now to any questions or anything that anybody has about this. Questions? Or okay, yes?
I have a question. What about the language that you find the site in Java?
Okay.
For that, because how quick it gets to your site.
Well, yeah, so Java or JavaScript is, depending on how your site is built, are you referring to like the SEO or the?
Yeah, similar to that. In other words, if somebody Googles what they want, you come up the first one.
Yes, that's a great question, and I'm happy to definitely speak about that, and I'm going to go in a little bit more depth on the third category, but I'm happy that you mentioned that because that's very important. So that deals with SEO or search engine optimization. So with that, there's many factors. There's there's no exact number, but people say there's about 200 ranking factors. So that involves the on-page, making sure that you have proper keyword usage, that your content is unique, not copy. Don't ever copy content anywhere else, not only because of copyright reasons, but you want to have good, fresh content with keywords in it. The SSL helps, putting what's called alt tags on the images, having links back to your site, relevant links. So if, let's say you're, in the car industry, having backlinks from different car associations or anything in that industry, like those things will boost. Even, the chamber website, having a link which the members here have, that helps you because it's a credible website. The BBB is a great backlink. Like any of those credible, authoritative backlinks help you as well. That's a great question. Sir?
Eric, I just have a question. Just people are always asking about landing pages and how much do they cost, and obviously that's something that you do.
Yeah, so landing, no, sorry.
No, I was just going to get around to, do you have a basic price or depend on business activity?
Yes, it depends on what's involved in the landing page, like I don't have like a set price that I would just, it depends on, I make it reasonable, as reasonable as I can. But a landing page is very good for acquiring leads and for, having them focus on one thing, especially if you're doing like paid ads, because they're focused on that one page, they don't leave that page. So that's good for lead acquisition. And landing pages are a good thing. Also split testing lead pages or landing pages to see which one performs the best.
Where it's a social media marketing, is that something that you provide to clients?
Yes.
Thanks.
Any other questions about website, the way that it looks, design? No? Okay. So the second question is improving digital presence and social media. So we have the first thing, which is the beautiful website, which is great, okay? It works well. I'm gonna give you tips now on improving presence in social media. So the first one is email marketing. Does anybody here engage in email marketing for their business? Okay, so email marketing is not dead, okay? So email marketing is basically, you probably get every day. So if you go to, let's say, Applebee's, or you go to Fridays, and you give them your email or phone number to get a free app, you're on their email list. So then they keep emailing every few days. It makes me very hungry, but they keep emailing you. So that's email marketing. They gave you something to reel you in, whether it's a free appetizer or it's a free white paper, not for the restaurant, but or a free ebook, whatever it is, or a discount on services. When you have that on the website, it motivates people to sign up to your list. You give them something, right? You have the hook. You give them something, and then they get on your list. You don't want to buy an email list. People ask me that all the time. Do not buy an email list, because that's spamming. It could actually affect the domain that you have, because it's considered spam. So don't ever buy an email list. So email marketing. Now, I would like you to write this down or just think about it. There's a service called Mailchimp, Mailchimp, which is actually free up to 2,000 emails. You don't have to pay for it. How is it free? Well, they actually have their badge on the bottom of each email, so it's actually, you're actually marketing for them too. And then once your list grows, you need certain functionality, they ask you to upgrade. So that would be something that's good for everyone to check out, is to build your list and send emails. Don't send an email blast every day, you know, maybe once a week, maybe send the newsletter out, send an offer here and there. Guest blogging is something that a lot of people do not know about. Most people, or everyone, knows about blogs. Guest blogging is when you write content for another blog, another site. So let's say you're a dentist and you write on a dentist blog about dentistry. You write the blog post, unique content. In that article or blog that you write, the blog that you're writing for gives you a backlink. They give you a link to your site. So anyone that reads that, it could be a really popular blog, it could be thousands and thousands of visitors. They're seeing that you are an expert, and they're seeing your link, your bio in there, and that can bring you traffic. That's called guest blogging. PPC, or pay-per-click ads. Has anyone done pay-per-click ads? Where you're paying Google $1 to $3 a click, $4, $5, whatever it is. And that can go really high depending on what industry you're in. So be careful with that, especially if you're in like mortgage or a lawyer, you know, the higher end, that's higher end, but the higher ROI, you know, or the larger types of businesses, you could be paying more. So Google pay-per-click is good, it's okay, just use, you know, be careful with that. Social media marketing, obviously everyone knows the significance of social media. Instagram is very popular, as you know, TikTok, they're exploding. Facebook is still popular, you know, they've gone down a bit. Twitter, YouTube, they're all great. I suggest definitely Instagram and Facebook. And you want to grow your pages however you can. You could have, let's say if you had 50 people on there and you're posting every day, not a lot of people are seeing it. So you got to focus also on building that audience. That's highly important. You want to encourage likes, comments, and shares. And also consider video creation, making a video. Sponsored posts, that's for social media. Has anyone done sponsored posts where they boost their ad? So you can do that. It's also very targeted, more targeted than Google ads. So I actually like, and you gotta test, but I like the Facebook ads a lot and the Instagram ads, because I can target a 35-year-old man in Nassau County that has a bachelor's degree, or that he loves golf, or he loves this or that. So that's highly targeted. And the last tip is add social share buttons to your website. You can jot this down. A website called addthis.com is one option. And you can actually have people share your content, hopefully making it viral. And even with the video, if you have a wild video, something that's viral, that's another way to bring a lot of traffic. So any questions on the digital presence or social media? Yes? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And is it weird to suddenly have people months after they gave you their email? Or is that?
Well, how did you acquire their emails? Was it on a list or?
Yeah, landing page.
Oh, that's phenomenal. That's great. So yeah, if they opted in, okay, either through a landing page or something, they give permission. So that's the only way that you should email people with permission. Usually if you have it like a landing page, that's awesome. So yeah, you could start with Mailchimp and just send one email out. I wouldn't do it as a sales email. I would do it as an informative email. Do you mind me asking what type of business? Or? Oh, okay, great. So maybe something informative, would be good, and maybe on the bottom you could put a promotion. Feel it out. But yeah, you could just start out of nowhere. If they opted in, start it. Check the analytics, check the reports as well. See what the reaction is. How many openings you get, how many clicks, are there any spam complaints or unsubscribes, and then kind of gauge it from there. But you could start that right away if they opted in. Yeah, Mailchimp. Yes, ma'am?
How many emails should you send out when you're doing a promotion, and what is too much?
It depends on the list, it depends on the business, but on average, it really depends. I would say once a week is okay. Don't bombard people, because if you email them every 2 days or every 2 days, they're going to unsubscribe. They're going to get annoyed. So, maybe once a week or so is good. You can also do list segmentation. So let's say you have a list of leads, that could be one list, or you have a list of customers, or you have a list of these people. If you do it on Mailchimp, you have to do through tags. You have to tag them. So I would once a week is good, but again, testing it, looking at the reports. Any other questions? Yes.
One more.
Go for it.
Something that's very popular now, my cousin's an attorney, criminal lawyer in Florida, and he does a lot of podcasting,
Oh, wow.
and it's educational,
Mhm.
and again, it's a criminal lawyer, so
Right.
he has a law practice, but he's interacting with people, educating, just like what we do here.
Mhm.
But by podcast, how do you actually do that? Do you have to, you can do your own, right? You set it up.
You could make your own podcast and just record and have either music or interviews or all.
And you can interview with people in the
Sure.
industry or whatever like that.
Yeah, and there's podcasts, I know, like in iTunes, there's podcasts, and then I'm sure there's different podcasting sites, and yeah, and you
Now,
can
a person-
embed that on the
But a
site.
person paid per view, if they want, like, there's 7 seminars that you're gonna run, in his position, he's a lawyer, so he'll do like educational certain type of law. So then he invites viewers as a paid per view.
They pay to hear the podcast?
Yes, with, yeah.
So that can be done on a site. I'm sure there's different services that can offer that, maybe as a premium service or premium access. But on a website itself, for anything that you want people to pay for, that would be considered membership area or content restriction. Membership or content restriction. When I talk about WordPress has thousands and thousands of plugins. So a plugin is basically an add-on to the site. So that could be a contact form, that could be a social media sharing tool, that could be a membership area, like all different things that you could do to enhance your site. So it's really a great platform, it's very versatile. So for that, I would suggest looking into membership/content restriction and any service, any third party that can offer that. Okay, I'll go on to the next. So the next topic is your business position on Google. So everyone knows Google is #1 for search. It's been like that forever. I'm going to talk about a few things on this about Google, and this kind of deals with the SEO, which I'll get into. The first thing is Google Business Profile, also known as Google My Business. They recently changed it to Google Business Profile. So how many of you have a Google Business Profile where you type your business name in, you see it on the maps, you see the reviews, so that's imperative to have for your business. If you don't have that, it's free to do, okay? You can just type in Google Business Profile. Don't click on the ads, because there's gonna be some pay-per-click ads there of people offering that service. Just go to the first organic result, and you can set up the business profile. So you enter your business name, you fill out all the data, make sure that Google Business Profile is as optimized as possible, meaning that you have all the information about your business, photos, etc. So if you don't have it, you should definitely claim it. And it's very important to get as many reviews as possible for your business. That is one of the best things I can tell you, especially as a local business. Because if I type in John's Plumbing Smithtown, and John's Plumbing Smithtown comes in, I see it, they've got a lot of reviews, or I type in Sandra's Beauty Service, you see all the, you see the reviews. So there's actually, when you have the Google Business Profile, there's actually an area on there where you can generate a link to just text to people or email them or put it on social media. They click on that, they log into their Google or Gmail, and they leave you a review. So that's paramount. The next tip is to analyze the competition. So let's say you're a lawyer, right? Look, or any business. You want to see what your competitors are doing. Who's ranking high on Google? What are they doing? How is their site, how is their business getting a lot of business through what they do? A good tool or a good resource, you can jot this down, is called similarweb.com. So you want to definitely see what's going on with the competition. The next thing is create fresh, unique content. So you can have a blog on your site, okay? Because you don't want to just sell your services and products. You want to provide value to people. You want to be the expert. Show that you're the expert. So it's very important to do that. The next thing that I was talking about was the on-page and off-page SEO. And I gave some ideas with that, with the keywords and the unique content and getting backlinks, relevant backlinks, very important. And just realize that SEO is not a quick fix. It's not, you do this and you're on page 1. Doesn't work that way. There's many variables. You're competing against many other businesses that may be on Google a lot longer than you've been on Google. So it's not a quick fix. It's a monthly recurring thing that you got to keep plugging at. So that's why the Google My Business is actually before the organic search results. So that's a more short term. That and doing the ads, the pay-per-click ads or the Facebook ads, that's a quicker way to start bringing in traffic. Okay, so now that we've talked about having a beautiful website, marketing it, okay, you want to know what's going on in the back end, and that's called Google Analytics. So how many people know or don't know if they have Google Analytics on their site? Okay, so Google Analytics tells you how many visitors you have, how long they've been on your site, what pages they go to, what their browser is. I mean, it's pretty crazy, the privacy, right? That's why when you go online, you gotta, there's all these things, you know, privacy policy, this, that, cookies, this, you know. It's, 10 years from now, it's, you're gonna sign away, you know. So have Google Analytics installed on your site. It's free, okay? It's very important. The last thing I'll say here is for Google Search Console, okay? This used to be known as Google Webmaster Tools. So this is also free to install. You have to be a little technical, not too much, but Google Search Console is where Google actually crawls the site and they give you suggestions like, oh, the mobile text is too small, or you should do this, or you should do that. It actually helps you with searchability. So those are great resources to use. So any questions on that section? Yes?
On moving up on the Google platform.
Yes.
And I'll describe the situation. Let's say this company out there, a healthcare company, okay, and they want to move up so that a player who's inquiring, like say a healthcare nurse, wants to get there. So how does Google help me to be the first one that goes to?
That's a great question. So obviously everyone would like to be the first result of the first few.
Yes.
And most people don't look, when you're on the phone, it's a little bit different because you're like scrolling and like you gotta scroll and then it says view more. You know, when you're on the desktop, you see the pages, it says like 1 to like 50 or whatever, and you see the Google all like, you know, so yeah, obviously everyone would love to be the first page, first result. So there's a few things that we have to consider. So one thing is the keyword. So you're in insurance, right?
I'm in healthcare.
Oh, healthcare.
Healthcare.
Sorry. So healthcare. So if someone types in health, like what would
Home
be?
healthcare. Home healthcare.
Okay, so if someone types in home healthcare company,
Yeah.
you know, that's more of a broad search, not as specific. So that's going to be naturally part of the rank for
Healthcare and-
that you have a better chance.
That's what I want to be number one.
Right.
When that happens.
You have a better chance because the less broad something is, the more specific it is, the easier it is to be higher.
Can't you pay for it?
That's on the Google ads, yeah, pay-per-click ads. But then you'll be playing anywhere $1 to $3 and up. You could, depending on the business, you could be playing, like mesothelioma lawyer, I think is the highest one, or used to be, and I don't know the exact cost, but they could be paying $50, $100 a click, or a mortgage company. I don't know the exact, there's a way to check it actually, but it racks up pretty quick. So it depends on the keyword search. Yeah, and it depends on the content on your site. Is your site, and you don't want to do a home health aid, you said?
Home health, yeah, agency, home health.
Yeah, like you wouldn't want to do home health agency Smithtown, home, like that would just, you won't even get on Google. So it's got to be naturally written, but you want to have like a title of the thing. So yeah, so there's variables, but
I just
again,
want to be number one when Google comes up.
yeah. Yeah, so having the page content as written for humans, not like, for search engines, and having backlinks and authority on your site, like the SSL and, the image optimization, like all those things, fast loading, like all these things that I'm talking about will help, and getting backlinks to your site. So that would help. Yep. Any other questions? Go for it.
So, you know what's the big thing that Treasury has had this experience? Where mine have been an old review that was made. And like, I'm telling you, it's so hard to get rid of it.
Yeah.
It's their forever. And
Yeah.
if someone tells me they have to put a whole bunch of new ones to move the old one down, I don't know if that's even true.
Well, yeah, once you have new,
We
well,
have to keep recycling and getting more people to review and moving it down, so people don't see that in the first place.
well, it will improve the score. So, no, you're good, you're good. Well, I was gonna ask do you know what the rating is that you have? Is it 4.0, 5?
Yeah, I wish it was 5.0.
Okay, but that's okay.
There's all these different stars, but then you
Right.
might have an old review from someone
Right.
that, like, it was years ago, before they
Okay.
repurchased an Avalon Gardens. So,
Oh, wow.
all that stuff is good now, but unfortunately, the old stuff's been,
Yeah.
they're paying someone and they're not doing the job effectively, because they should have been able to remove that. I've never used that.
Yeah, so that has to do with what's called reputation management.
That's what they do.
Yeah, so, that review that you got, was that a valid customer?
I don't know, I wasn't registered.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, you could try to, I guess, dispute it, but it's kind of hard to get. I mean, there's services that specialize in that, I mean, I'm able to help as best I can, but there's, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
They just assume the website?
No, they rebuilt it, but something's not right, and,
It's a
it
big
affects
different companies.
No, it's not the same company.
Same owner, different owner, same name.
What? Why do?
I want to jump in on that.
yeah, go for it.
On your situation, what you're talking about, I work for Gold's Gym. I do the social media marketing for them. Gold's was under a different ownership a year ago and very poorly run. So the reviews were horrible. And exactly what you said, we have a lot of negative reviews. So we have to, what we do is promote, and I do an email blast weekly, and on the bottom of that blast, I have the links to reviewing us on Yelp is another good one, and Google. And we constantly talk about it, even in the social posts. We're engaging with people and asking them, especially if they're happy, to review us, and give us a good review, so we do push those negative reviews down.
Exactly.
And it
You
is
actually
working.
Answer on that.
Exactly.
Say, we're under new ownership,
Exactly.
please
We
give
did
us another
that.
chance.
Yes.
Yeah.
That also helps your rating and everything.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
you
we've
could-
gotten a lot better. I mean, like I said, we're new about, it's almost a year for us, and I think we're about 4.3 and
You won't remove
all.
them, but we'll at least let that number.
Yeah, so definitely reply to the reviews as nicely, I've seen some people review like arrogantly, which is obviously, and we all know not to run our business like,
Yeah.
customer's always right, even if they're, wild, whatever. So just reply professionally, honestly, and when the reviews show, people can actually sort it by most relevant, newest, oldest, so it might not go in the order you want it to, but overall, focus on getting more reviews. If you have, let's say at the gym, you could have, something like a flyer or something and a QR code, and just, there's always gonna be people that leave bad reviews. It's just the nature of the beast, it's just how
And
it
you
is.
can also thank the people that are reviewing you.
Yeah, you should reply to everyone.
The ones for us that are so negative are from like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
people
people
now know, they're like,
understand
oh,
that.
if there's a new owner now, things are different. So that's also turning for us.
Exactly. And you could actually like each review.
Yes.
And you could, if anyone that's in the business or anyone that supports you guys, they could actually those are signals. considered signals that Google gets. But yeah, just how it is, you know, try to get more reviews. Again, you can share that review form from the Google business page on the back end. You can get that, and just you know, just try to get as many good ones as you can. So, but the fact that you're getting reviews is a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah, there's always going to be some people that can't please everyone, unfortunately. So, any other questions?
You know, I just want to comment on
Yeah.
that point.
Mhm.
You know, I think it's important that on a negative review, that you respond to it.
Yes.
And the response coming from the owner, the president.
Yes.
I am sorry to hear.
Exactly.
We have changed, as you
Exactly.
just said, situation we've changed.
Exactly.
I think that means a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because I'm concerned about a bad review in the town of Smithtown, because there's groups out here that, you know, Smithtown moms, let's say.
Watch out. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Yeah, so yeah, reply to each review. Oh, one more thing, I just, so I don't forget. But yeah, so reply to the reviews. You can even put your business number, your name, contact me directly. More than happy to help you. You know, but yeah, replying to each review is actually, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you should reply to each one. Yeah, it shows that you care. It shows that you're, you know, on top of things.
I mean, if there was any way of also getting in touch with those bad reviewers
And asking them to.
and ask them to remove your review, we're gonna give you a year at
Well,
goals.
Yeah, but can't really. Well, if they come in, let's say they come in and you talk to them, you can't really incentivize it. Like, you know, Google's everything. They know everything. You know, if you know that customer, let's say, and you have a good rapport with them, you know, you could talk maybe casually about it. You know, but yeah, it's important. Google My Business or Google Business Profile is imperative. I just don't want to forget one thing. On Facebook, for example, has anyone engaged? Has anyone posted in groups? Facebook groups? Okay, so there are a lot of Facebook groups. Don't spam. Don't say, you know, we're number one at this. Visit our site. Buy this today. But there's a lot of groups on Facebook. There's a lot of, well, there's Smithtown Moms is a great group. There's actually, I think, Smithtown Dads. I'm in that one. Yeah, so I've probably seen you in there. Well, some groups you can't advertise, you can't promote. But there are a lot of Long Island business groups. So you could go to Facebook, in the search bar, type in Long Island Business Group, or Long Island Business, or Long Island Advertising, or look at, and then click on the Groups tab. You can join the groups, you can become part of the group, you can contribute, give valuable content. When they let you post about your business, then do it. It's free exposure. So Facebook groups is also good. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, well, I thank everyone. I thank Barbara, the Smithtown Chamber, Casa Rustica for having me, for the Board of Directors, and everyone here today. I greatly appreciate being here. I'm actually honored to be here, to speak here, and to be with such a wonderful organization. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Good job.
Wasn't he terrific?